What is up, you guys? I'm back again with another video. Today I'm talking to you guys about my 3-month update at European Wax Center. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for clicking on this video. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent, so I hope that you guys enjoy what I bring to y'all today. We got a lot to talk about. All right, so I'm gonna be running down some of the pros and cons of working at European Wax Center. Now that I've got a little bit of skin in the game, I have a more well-rounded perspective. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the cons just so I don't have to leave off on negative notes. And I'll leave off on the positive. Okay, I don't know if this is my location, but it is always freezing, you guys. Like, when I say freezing, it's always so cold in our building. Like, we have to keep the temperature, I want to say it's like 68, or like it's like in the 60s, and it's always so freaking cold in there. Like, my fingers get cold just thinking about it. Like, and sometimes it can be like crippling. Like, I feel like I can't even think. Like, I have to step outside and just get a little bit of sun just to like kind of thaw out a little bit, because it can be really cold. Like, especially if you're not busy, you're not moving a lot, it gets really cold, and we have to keep it cold because of the wax pots. So, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or like a week ago, our air had broken and it was really hot in Dallas, and moving and working and having the hot wax pot on and having to move so much in the room was a terrible combination. I think the rooms had gotten up to like 75, maybe even like 80 something degrees in there. Like, it was ridiculous. And I realized, like, okay, the air is definitely necessary, especially when you're moving, because it would get like humid in there and the wax wouldn't stick to people's it would stick to people's bodies to where we couldn't pull it off. So, like, they have to keep the temperature at a certain degree level, and I'm sure for like sanitation and like sterilization type reasons, it has to be low. But if you don't have any guests, like, y'all, like, it's so cold. Like, wear an undershirt, wear a jacket, wear something, just so you're not freezing. Again, I don't know if that's just my location, but it's always cold in there. Hey, y'all, people can come in there like 9 minutes. They have a 9-minute window. So, like, if their appointment is at 4, they have until 4:09 to show up for their appointment. When you get bumped up a level, so like I was recently bumped up maybe like a couple weeks ago, and you go from having 30 minutes to do a Brazilian to 15 minutes. And I want to say it's blue level to white level. So I think I'm white level now, if I'm not mistaken. But you go down to having 15 minutes to do a Brazilian. So if somebody shows up at 4:09, like, and then you have another person scheduled at 4:15 for another Brazilian, like, it can just put you behind. So that can be a con. Like, thank God I do not have a lot of people who show up late, but sometimes people will be running late, you know, getting off work and stuff like that. And you just have to be understanding, because life happens. But at the end of the day, it can be a little stressful, because it will then push behind like your entire books. So keep that in mind, and, you know, just try to gently explain that to them, like, hey, you know, we have this window of time to kind of get you in and get you out, and I want to be able to provide the best service. So it's important that, you know, you try to just, you know, help me out and show up on time for your appointment. The other thing is, a lot of times it's like when it rains it pours, and I'm saying that because if they show up late, they'll want to go to the bathroom, they'll have to like tie their kids' shoes. Like, usually when people are late, it's like a sequence of other things that follows. Like, they have to sort out billing, or it's always just like some ridiculous situation to where they're taking even longer. So again, like I said, you know, don't let it become a habit, but also just, you know, try to be understanding and empathetic. The next thing is, you are going to have to sell. So yes, we are experts in skincare. We obviously went to school for aesthetics or cosmetology or whatever it is that you're passionate about. But in most fields, like most jobs, sales is a big part of the job. And in order to keep your client's skin healthy and get for them to keep achieving the results that they like, you want to be sure that you're selling products. So this is a double-edged sword, because I don't like to sell, but I try not to sell. Like if I know there's a product that's gonna better suit them, it's easier for me to make that recommendation instead of trying to like push a product on them that I know is probably not going to help. Like if they don't have any hyperpigmentation, I'm not going to encourage them to get a vitamin C serum that's going to help even out tone and stuff like that. Yeah, you just, you know, selling is just a part of it. But like I said, it kind of leads into a pro because it does come back and reflect well in your check because you are making, I believe it's 10% off product and 5% off service. 10% off product and 5% off service. Most people are clean, but you know, you have your occasional person who isn't. So that just comes with the territory. You know, we're all women. I don't do any male Brazilians, but you know, we're all women. So obviously it's not gonna always smell like a garden. I mean, it's a reproductive organ, you know, like it's your bikini area, like it's gonna smell like, you know, like it's supposed to smell. So but you know, you have some people who just are less than desirable when it comes to like the hygiene, you know, portion. So those are just things that you got to know, or you know, you can always refuse the service if it comes down to that, or if you see something that looks suspicious or you want them to get further checked out. That is an option to you. You can, you know, put a medical note on their file and just let them know like, hey, you know, I want to see a doctor's note before you come back in here, that sort of thing, just to make sure everybody is safe and comfortable. And yes, you do have some people that will come on their cycle. European allows people to get wax during their cycle. They want them to wear a tampon. So obviously, like, I don't have anybody coming in with a pad on. That would be ridiculous. That would be a first. We do wax pregnant people as well. So those are two of the more like sensitive groups of people, if I can say. Like usually it's more painful for women who are on their cycles. It's more painful for women who are pregnant. And for me personally, I'm always like nervous to do people who are pregnant because I don't know, like it just seems like you're just so sensitive and like fragile. Like I don't want to hurt anything. I don't want to hurt the baby. So for me, that's always like kind of like touchy. But for the most part, people do pretty well. It's nothing too extreme. Working at European, you always have to be on as in like you have to be in an extroverted mood. You have to be in a mood to converse with your clients, you know, talk to them about their kids, talk to them about their vacation that they're about to take, talk to them about their husbands and relationships. So keep that in mind. You know, you want to be personable, you want to be approachable, you want to be friendly and amicable. This is definitely one of those jobs where you have to be a people person. Like you have to be able to communicate well and listen well, and yes, being on is a major part of the job. So making sure that you're in a good mental space before you show up for work is really important. The last kind I will say is, in order for us to take off, we do have to submit 60 days ahead of time, which I just thought that was crazy. Like 2 entire months ahead of time to request off, unless you have someone that's going to be able to cover your shifts. But people aren't always available to cover the shifts. I know for me it's hard. Like I love to have my days off because those are days that I'm able to rest and regroup and prepare to be on again. You know, keep that in mind. Time off is limited. However, we do have a lot of time to ourselves. So I work, I believe it's 33 hours a week. That leads me into my next point of good hours. 33 hours a week is like is about 7 or 8 hours lower than the full 40-hour work week. So I really do appreciate that. My shifts are 6.5 hours. Like if they fly by for the most part, especially if I'm busy, and I go in later in the day. So like I start most of my shifts at 2:30, and that means I have my mornings to myself. I can meditate, I can work out, I can run errands if need be, spend time with our dog, clean up the house, like whatever I need to get done before I go to work. I do have that time available to me in the morning to make those things happen. I like to go to the library and get a little bit of work done. So yeah, I love my mornings, like being productive and doing things that are important to me. And I like having my work day, you know, towards the end, because by the time evening comes, I'm usually too tired to put all that energy into myself, to be honest. And so as I'm getting started into my pros, I just wanted to start with that one. The next pro I will say is you earn commission on top of your sales and on top of service. So that adds up. I believe when I started, I was at around, like, I think my check was like $1,100, and now they're around $1,300, and that's with $100 being deducted from my healthcare. So like I pay for insurance, which is a little pricey, but at least we have insurance, and my check has gone up within the last couple months, literally from me being bumped up to white level and from earning commissions on product and on sales. The third pro I'm going to mention is the fact that I have a lot of downtime. I do have less downtime than I had when I first started, which is a good thing because I had a lot of downtime when I first started. So it's getting busy, it's picking up. People are vacationing, graduations, weddings, all that. So it is picking up. I have less downtime, but I do still have downtime in times that I want to edit this video or edit some reel for Instagram and stuff like that. So I appreciate that I'm on the clock and I have the time to create content for you guys and just be able to plan my time in a way that's effective. The last really important thing about this job is that it is flexible. When I'm there, I don't feel like I'm being micromanaged. There's not constantly somebody over my shoulder like telling me that I need to work faster, harder, or whatever. It's literally what you make it. You come to work and it's almost as if you are your own boss. You have your suite that you're responsible for. You bring your guests in there. To be honest, I hardly interact with my coworkers. They are all really cool, but for the most part, like, I really don't see them. I see the people that I'm waxing in my room, and if I'm in my room all day, like, I literally wouldn't necessarily even be able to talk to the other employees there. So I like that. I love that I have my own space, and you know, I can walk out and go to the grocery store when I need to. Like, I'm not constantly bombarded with some amount of work or some thing hanging over my head that needs to be done. It's like I'm at work. When I come to work, I work. When I leave, I'm at home. I'm not thinking about work constantly. So working at European Wax, for me, that is probably the single biggest mental reliever that this job has provided me is work-life balance. And I've worked a lot of different jobs, as y'all know. I flew to Korea, I've taught English, I've worked in retail management, I've worked in the car rental industry management, I've worked in film, and for most of those jobs, like, it's very time consuming. You have to be very present. You have to sometimes take your work home with you, just thinking about how you're going to organize or how you're going to get a shipment out or how you're going to do this, and it can be very stressful. But I love when I come home, I walk in the door and I take off my uniform, hug my dog, hug my fiance, I sit my butt on this couch and we watch YouTube or whatever we want to do to kind of unwind and relax. So that is so important to me, having that time to come home and really just think about, you know, rest and relaxation. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Those are my pros and cons of my, I think it was 3.5 month update from European Wax Center. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment box below. I would love to answer those questions for you guys. Please like this video. I want to get my subscribers up. I want to be more consistent with you guys, and yes, hopefully I can continue to bring content. I love doing this. I love you guys, and continue to stay bright and stay light. Talk to you soon. Bye.